There's a lot of diverse characters in the Tekken universe. We have waifus, gooder than good guys, heroes, animals, and well, fairies. Yeah, but probably the most entertaining characters are those mean, evil psychopaths. You know the type, a cold-blooded killer that likes to watch the world burn, or a guy that wants to achieve the world domination no matter what it takes. And I think that our selected characters for today fit that description pretty well. But who is the most evil one? Well, I was hoping that maybe you could help me with the choice, and this is a really hard one. And I think that it's best that we start off with our favorite grandpa.
Heihachi Mishima.
At first, I was really split about including Heihachi in this list. Not because he didn't do terrible things to his family and everyone else on Earth, but because he did do some good things. He's also a master of deception and he's really good with the media, and those interviews led me to believe that he wasn't really as bad as he is. But that's just Heihachi for you, a master of deception. Furthermore, he seems to be very generous towards strangers and animals, as he is known to have adopted Lee, helping him to form the life that he has today, even though Lee despises him nowadays. We also know that he took good care of Shaoyu, as he had paid for her scholarship and he took her under the wing of Mishima Zaibatsu while she was just a stowaway on one of his ships. But he took the best care of his beloved bears, Kumas. He loved Kumas more than he did the rest of his family, which wasn't really hard, but the times that we see him with the bears, he's genuinely happy, which is a rarity, as the only times that he's really happy are either with them or when he's hurting his own. Also, he really loved his wife. He didn't want to kill Kazumi, but then he wouldn't survive and it was in self-defense. He threw his son off the cliff because he wanted to stop the bigger evil. Well, that was crazy, as he literally didn't have a single proof that his son contained the devil genie in him, even though he was right in the end. The last two things were somewhat justifiable, so now we'll talk about worse stuff. Let's start by him being an incredible narcissist. He would do anything to make himself even just a tiny bit stronger. He tries to kill his offsprings in the hopes of extracting their genes to make himself more powerful. His attempted murders are also very cruel and personal, sometimes even cheap. Like that time he shot an unarmed Jin while the whole Tekken 4 squad was behind him. He has also done a lot of terrible things outside the tournaments in his attempts at world domination. He stops for nothing and no one. Like father, like son, I guess. But I'm getting ahead of myself, we'll talk about Kazuya later. Heihachi has killed a lot of innocent people with his war efforts. His solutions of problems, and by problems I do mean mostly Kazuya, also often lead to a lot of chaos. Like that time he had blown up an entire G-Core building in the hopes of killing Kazuya and Akuma. I mean, there were probably other people in that building. But, you know Heihachi, he doesn't care about the collateral damage as long as he ends up winning. I guess that he is the most polarizing character in this list, and that's why I took most of my time talking about him. So we should move on to someone else before you guys fall asleep. I present to you his wonderful son,
Kazuya Mishima.
Who would have thought that the original main antagonist turned out to be the evil one?
Not me.
I think that everyone was shocked once they found out that they have helped this guy throw his father off a cliff. Yeah, he was thought of as a hero back then. Crazy, right? Well, what else did Kazuya do to earn his spot in this video? I don't know, where do I even start? How about with him trying to murder his family? His father, which he succeeded, and his son, who beat the shit out of him. And we know that he would have killed Jinpachi if he had won that 5th tournament. All those attempts are done without any hesitation or dilemma. Ever since the first game, he plans to achieve the world domination, no matter how it's done. Kazuya is also shown to be devious. He's never really extreme with his plans, unlike his father, but he's also not to be trusted, as he's seen leaving Heihachi with a horde of jacks after it seemed that the two of them are finally having some nice bonding time by dismantling all those robots. But Kazuya, the little devil that he is, you see what I did there? Leaves Heihachi to fend for himself, and he's smirking at the thought of his dad dying. That smirk is a pretty common occurrence with Kazuya. We can often see him smirking at others' suffering or misfortune. It's as if he doesn't have even a little bit of empathy. Of course, in Kazuya's defense, you could say that he is controlled by the devil, but I'm here to talk about characters and not their split personalities. But that's enough for the Mishimas. Let's see what would happen if your high school bully never grew out of that phase. I'm talking about Marduk.
Craig Marduk.
Oh, sorry guys, I forgot that I was recording. But look what I found! Don't ask me how I found it though. Craig Marduk is a pro wrestler known for his crazy antics. We can see Marduk's mental instability even while he's fighting, as he's seen screaming and acting like a maniac before and after his fights. Let's take a look at some of his favorite outdoor activities. Hurting people, believable. Fighting, of course. And those two go together pretty well. But he also likes attractive women. And I can hear you saying, but what does that have to do with him being a psycho? Well, you see, Marduk doesn't seem to take no for an answer when it comes to women.
You need to get with me, girl.
I am not into Neanderthals. Go back to your cage.
I always get what I want.
That's what it has to do with him being a psycho. Marduk is probably best known lore-wise for killing the original Armor King, which shows his psychopathic tendencies. Armor King wasn't even the one who was involved in the start of the bar fight with Marduk. He was just a random guy that tried to break it up, but Marduk didn't care and he ended up murdering Armor King. What's even crazier is that Marduk doesn't seem to show any remorse for killing Armor King, as he seems to be proud of what he has done, which is seen by him digging a grave of the man that he murdered. That just seems too much. He is also seen wearing Armor King's mask on a few occasions as a way of taunting King first and then the second Armor King later on. He is even trying to kill the second Armor King when he appears in the next few tournaments. Wow, after reading all that, I can't believe that there are people worse than him in this game. And for our last person, we turn to everyone's favorite cyborg.
Bryan Fury.
Bryan Fury is the only true psychopath. Other characters do have some redeeming qualities and they don't cause chaos for chaos' sake, but rather as a consequence of their actions. On the other hand, it seems that Bryan's only purpose in life is to create chaos. Even though Bryan didn't do as many terrible things to the characters that are in the game, I mean he only killed a few of Yoshimitsu's clan members, which compared to the standards set by the other guys on this list is pretty much nothing, he's still a very psychotic character, which is seen by his endings, and I think that this clip speaks for itself. You can see the pure psychosis in this man's eyes. Truly diabolical. Who knows how many people were hurt by Bryan? It's certainly in the thousands if not hundreds of thousands. And those victims were mostly innocent people. We can also see that he is a very reserved person, as he likes to let his hands do the talking, whether it's by beating his opponents or by throwing things at the military. He is also very distrustful, as we see him betraying Yoshimitsu and Dr. Baskonovich after they saved his life between 4th and 5th tournament. It is also known that he has murdered people who saved him originally before the 3rd tournament. Well, it seems that's all that we have to say for Bryan, so I think that it's best that we go straight to the ending. I just want to know that this is my personal opinion and it's okay if you don't agree with my picks. One other character that could have featured is Dragunov, who is just looking like a psycho. But he's just a really weird dude that follows his army's orders to a T. Anyway, thanks for watching and I hope that you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun doing it and hopefully there will be more to come. See you next time and goodbye.